5. Today we're going to be looking at some verbal reasoning. Like I said last week, we're now starting to kind of go over the same concepts again. So some of these will be a little bit familiar to you, and again it's just working on your timing now, making sure that you kind of are working a little bit quicker than you were a few weeks ago. So let's begin. It says at the top, in these questions find 2 words, one from each group, one from this group, one from this group, that are closest in meanings. Mark both words on the answer sheet. Now, a word that you probably have heard in school at some point is synonyms. So what you're looking for is synonyms, things that mean something very similar. So my example would be, hot, boiling. They mean something very, very similar. So you're looking for 2 words, okay, that are the closest in meaning. So we have got, from this example, we've got office, shop, start. We'll take one word from there. Work, begin, end. So what we're looking for, and you can think about, can I put both these words into the same sentence and will the sentence still make sense? So I think, well, okay, what's another word for an office? Do I see another synonym for office on this side here? No, I don't, not really. And then again with shop, I don't see any other word that if I was to say I'm going to shop or I'm going to the shops, there's nothing that I can replace that with here. Start. Now if I look at start, I think, oh, actually, I've got the word begin. I begin my work, I start my work. They're synonyms of each other. They mean something very similar. So in this one, I'm going to circle start and I'm going to circle begin. So let's have a look at what they tell us. Move that down for you. So it says, the 2 words, one from each group, that are closest in the meaning are start from group 1 and begin from group 2. Okay, they are synonyms. You can put them into a sentence and they mean exactly the same thing. Let's have a look at some other examples. Now what I'm going to do is at this point, because we've done this before, you can pause and have a go. Okay, hopefully you've had a go at those. So, on our first group of words, on number 8, we've got can, grease and pan. And then on group 2, we've got fry, oil, slip. So, looking at those, hopefully now you'll start to think, right, which of these are really, really similar? So, if I was to look, for example, at pan, maybe I cook some beans in a pan, there's nothing else that I can see here that would work. But if I look at the word grease and the word oil, both of those mean the same thing. You might say you use grease and oil in cooking, for example, or you might grease something or you oil something that maybe is a bit squeaky. They are synonyms of each other. So I'm going to circle B, grease, and Y, oil. Hopefully you did the same. Number 9, we have got calm, rest, laugh, group 1, tired, peaceful, happy, group 2. So, first of all, I might say, let's look at tired. I might say, I am tired. A synonym could be, I am sleepy, for example. Now, the only one vaguely similar is rest. So I don't think that is one that is going to match up. So I'm going to cross that out and cross that out. So we're left with our 2 options. That kind of narrows it down a little bit. Now, there's loads of other synonyms for the word laugh. You can giggle, you can chuckle, and I don't see any of those options on this side. So I'm going to get rid of laugh, which means my word that I must be using in group 1 is calm. Which word is the same or very similar to calm and to peaceful and happy? I would go with peaceful. When you feel calm, you also might say, I feel peaceful. So I'm going to circle Y, peaceful, and A, calm. Okay, again, I'm going to pause, have a go. Okay, so let's look at number 10. So we've got in group 1, increase, quick, accelerate. And then in group 2, race, speed, rapid. Okay, now what I should say, if there are any words you're not sure of the meaning, when you're looking at these, just look in a dictionary to clarify the meaning for you. Okay, so if we're looking at something and it increases, normally that means it gets bigger. So it might be, well, your marks on a test, they might increase, you get more of them. So So I'm looking here and I don't see another word that means increase. So on this side, I'm going to get rid of A. So I might have a look on this side and think, oh, okay, race. We race against someone, we maybe compete against someone. I don't see another synonym in group 1 that can work with race. So I'm going to get rid of that one as well. So now I'm left with 2 options on each side. So next up I'm going to look at the word accelerate. So to accelerate, okay, if you maybe need to look this one up, the accelerate means to get quicker at something. Okay, often in a car you accelerate when you're getting quicker. Now, that's kind of quite similar to some of these words, but actually I've noticed here I've got the word quick, and then if I look down here I've got the word rapid, and both of those mean the same thing. You might say as a runner, oh, that person's they're really quick, but you also might say, oh, that person's a really rapid runner as well. They cover the distance rapidly. So those are the 2 that are the closest in meaning. Right, number 11. We've got teach, result, occur, outcome, incident, learn. So, if we have a look at these ones, let's see what we can maybe cross out. There's nothing that matches. Now, teach and learn, we know that happens in a school, but it's an opposite kind of job, isn't it? You are teaching someone and other people are learning. They're not actually synonyms of each other, and nor can I see anything else here that is another word for teach. So I'm going to cross out the word teach there. Okay, so I'm going to look next at the word occur. Something occurs, it happens. Something is happening. So I don't see anything for occur either. So I'm going to cross that out. So I'm left with B. So I'm left with the result. So now I'm looking for a word on this side that is the closest to result. So I've got the words outcome, incident and learn. Now I know that incident means something happening, so I know that doesn't mean the same thing as a result. But I do know that outcome is very similar to result. So I might say to you, what was the result? Or what was the outcome? The words mean something very similar, they're synonyms. So I'm going to circle X and circle B. Hopefully you got the same. Don't worry if you didn't, you're going to have questions that you can practice. So, let's move on to our next skill. Now again, you might recognise this. So I'll read it to you, and again, you'll have questions that you can practice at home that are going to be very similar to what we're doing today. So it says, in these sentences, a word of 4 letters is hidden at the end of one word and at the beginning of the next word. Find the pair of words that contain the hidden word and mark this answer on the answer sheet. We've seen this one before. You might be like, oh, I remember the answer, but remember my top tip. We've got the sentence, the film ended happily after all, but don't look at that. Instead look at the answers, because what you're looking at is the end of one word, so the end of the first word, and then the beginning of the second word. And remember, you've got to have a word that's got 4 letters, okay? You can take 2 letters from one word and 2 letters from the other word, or 1 and 3, or 1 and 3 that way, okay? It doesn't have to be 2 and 2 all the time. So we ignore that sentence, we look at the options here, and we remember to think about what letters go together, okay? I'm never going to see a word that is going to be starting with, this is a good example, L-M. So I think, oh, okay, well that's not going to work, maybe I can adapt from there. So we quickly look through and we think, okay, can I see any words that match up? No. E-D-H-A, no. And remember, a pen and paper could be useful here, just to even write down, think, it's not a word, no. Yaft, not a word. Round, no. But here, I've got an M-E-N-D. M-E-N-D. And that creates the word mend, okay? Let's have a little look. So, the answer is, film ended. In this sentence, the hidden 4-letter word is mend, which is made up of the last letter of the word film and the first 3 letters of the word ended. So, the pair of words that contain the hidden word is film ended. Let's look at some more examples. So, again, what I'm going to ask you to do, because you've done this before, Without me doing another one, we're going to pause, have a go, pen and paper. Okay, hopefully you've had a go. Don't worry if you can't quite get it, we're still practicing all the time, okay? So don't panic. Right, the sentence says, the bold monkey sat on my shoulder. So we know we go straight to our answers and we have a little look and we can start to go through quite quickly, okay? Now the first top tip for this one, the word's got to be 4 letters. Here, I've got 4 letters and, sorry, on my is never going to be a word. Okay, so straight away, I'm going to reduce down my answers. And I'm going to look at D next because it's only got 5 letters. And I could have Sato or Aton, also not words. So I'm narrowing myself down quite quickly. I'm going to go back to A because they're quite short words as well. That makes it easier for me. So I could have all 3 letters. Feb, no. Hebo, not a word, not going to be there. Okay, let's look at bold monkey. LD, don't know any words that start with LD, so I can straight away think it's not going to be that. DM, don't know any words that start with DM, can get rid of that. So now I'm going to be looking at this one and I notice we have got keys. I lost my keys, for example. That is a word, so C is going to be our answer. Number 16. Is wonderful living in the country. So again, let's look at the answers that have only got 4 letters. So we've got it is. If I just write that out as a word, that is not a word, never going to be, so I'm going to get rid of that straight away. I'm going to look at is wonderful next, and I'm looking and I'm like, I is woe, no. Swan with an O, no, not a word. Okay, so it's not going to be that one. Let's look at another short one down here. In the. If I just kind of cover it up, you'll have these at home, the screenshots to do the same. In the, no. If I have all, no. Nope, going to get rid of that one. That's going. Okay, let's look at living in. So I've got ing on the end of living. No, ingy, no. Gin, that's a word, but it's only 3 letters. Can't be that one. So now I'm left with wonderful living and I see that I can notice that I've got FUL and then an L from living. I have got the word full. Hopefully you found that as well. Okay. Again, we'll pause, have a go. Okay, hopefully you've had a go at this one. So it says, the sky was clear after days of rain. So, quite short words in this one actually, so it should make it a little bit easier for us. So straight away, let's start with number A. Let's look at the options. So I've got he, sk, hesk. But this time I'm going to kind of write it out as you might on your sheet of paper. No, that doesn't work. And then I could have E from the, esky, nope. Okay, getting rid of that one then, not going to work. Now straight away, without even writing anything down, I'm going to cross this one out. Because I'm going to show you KYWA, not a word. Y was also not a word. But I actually knew that before I even wrote it down, so actually you can kind of start to look at that a little bit more carefully. Right, the same with this one. AS, we have quite a few words like AS, but ASC, ASCL, no. WASC, no, not going to work. Okay, so 2 more options, D and E. If you hadn't got this one yet, you could always pause now and choose between these ones, see if you could work it out. But for everybody that has had a go, I have noticed that on clear after with D, I've got an R at the end of clear. Here's my R. And then at the beginning of after, I've got A, F, T. I've got the word raft. If you don't know what a raft is, you can use your dictionary to look that up, please. Because that's the only thing now that will trip you up, is that sometimes they will put words in these words that you think, oh, that's not a very common word, I haven't seen that very often. So that can be a little bit challenging. And then we can just quickly check here. There's no words that I can see that I can make out of those letters. So therefore I know that I've got the right answer with D. Okay, so that is all for today. It's revision now, practicing for you. You're going to have the screenshot sent home, so you can go through this with me if you need to, and actually even just do it alongside me, and you'll have questions that are very, very similar. Okay, well done Year 5, have a great weekend, see you later.